Hello, Allie from Simplero here, and today we're going to be talking about events. So first off, you can find your events under the Content tab here, and then Events. When you click here, you are going to have a couple different options on how you can add an event into Simplero. So first off, you can either import a single event or event series from Zoom by adding the URL of that event. And then once you add that URL, you could click OK, and Zoom will import all of the events or event series added with that URL. The other option is under this meatball menu here. You can import all of your events from your Zoom that you've integrated in Simplero. So it's going to pull everything that's not currently in Simplero and add it if it's in your Zoom. The other thing you could do is to create a new event. When you go to create a new event, it's going to open this new window here, and you can go ahead and start naming and creating what your event's going to look like. So we're going to go ahead and just say event testing. We can add the option of a subtitle. I'm going to go ahead and add in here, we're going to have so much fun. And then you can add an internal name if you want. And usually people use this if they want the public name to be different than what you call it on your end. You can also list this on specific sites. So if you want to list it on your main website or on a membership site, anything like that, you can go ahead and identify that here. And you can restrict access to the event or the event registration through a product purchase. So if I were to add a product in here, the system is going to need to recognize that whoever is viewing the event has purchased this product before they have the option to register. If they have not purchased the product, it's just going to tell them that they're not available to register for the event. Next, we're going to go into date and time. So here is where you're going to set what day and time your first event happens. So if we want to do an event on Friday, May 2nd, and let's go ahead and put it down for, let's do 3 p.m. You'll see that it automatically adjusts the end time to an hour after that beginning time, but you can adjust this to be as short as 15 minutes or up to, I think we actually have a 24-hour limit. If I were to set this as a 45-minute, and let's say I actually want it to be an hour, I can go in and customize this and type in how long I want that to be. You're not restricted to just a 15-minute increment. So we can go ahead and just make this 45 minutes. You can also customize time zone and labels by using these options. Next, you're going to identify if your event's going to repeat or not. So if it's not repeating, which means it's just a one-time event, you can go ahead and leave that here. If you want this to be daily and it occurs every so many days, then you can go ahead and use this option. And then all of your repeating options are going to use the end after or end at option. The end after is going to say that your event occurs this many times and then it's done. The end at means that it's going to recur as many times as you've programmed in from these options until this specific date and time. So if you want to use these options to say after 7 times, my event's done, or until this specific date, my event's done. It's up to you. Under the weekly is where you could say it's going to occur on this specific day of the week, every single week. And in monthly is going to say it's going to, you have a few different options here. You could either do, it's going to repeat on this specific weekday of the month. So we could say like the 4th Monday of the month or the 2nd Thursday of the month, however it is you want that to go. Or you could say the day number. So let's say it's going to repeat on the 12th of every month. And then we're going to actually have this end after 8 times. The next option is going to go into location. So your location, you have 3 options here. You can either do online, and you can add, it kind of gives you a little bit of a heads up down here. You can add a Zoom URL, you can add a webinar link, or a Google Meet, things like that. Anywhere that you're going to meet virtually, you can add in that URL, and even have the option for a link label as well. You can do in person and add the location of in person, and then it will actually go ahead and link this to Google Maps for your members to check out as well. And then to be determined, if you haven't decided or you guys are still trying to figure out where it's going to be at, you could just go ahead and set that here. So let's say ours is going to take place online. We're going to leave this empty for now. Next are the details. And this is usually you can go in and make some more customizations of what your event's going to look like and what you want to tell them about your event. So if we're going to add a cover photo, I'm going to go in and just go ahead and select, let's do, yeah, we'll just add this one. So I'm going to add this cover photo that they're going to see when they go to register or when they check out anything that has to do with the event. So this part is going to be about the description of the event, and we're going to put in here, learn more about what we are going to be doing. All right, so that's going to be our description. Next, you're going to go into registration, and there's quite a few options here under registration. So I'll come back up to this one. Triggers, okay, so you're going to have to save first before you can add any triggers. Triggers are only going to be available if you're going to do the automatic or manual approval for registration. All of our event triggers are going to go off of registration. So if you use the no registration option, you're not going to have any options to do anything for a trigger. If we go with automatic approval, you'll see that these drop down start, and it's actually the same for manual approval as well. Automatic is saying that as soon as they register, they're approved, all these things are going to happen. Manual approval means that they're going to register, and then you go in and approve whether or not they get to attend the event. So that's kind of a nice way if you want to restrict who does or does not attend the event. If you go to do a calendar invite, you'll see that this is going to be an email they're going to receive that's going to be like a calendar invite to like their Google Calendar or wherever they're going to get this email at. And it's going to auto-populate this information. If you want to customize what this email is going to look like, you can definitely do so. These little guys here are our interpolation keys, and so it's going to automatically pull your event title, description, and location that we've programmed and all the settings up here and things like that. So that's kind of a nice little thing that we have. You can also limit the registration time. So when does registration close before the event? And you can go up to 0 minutes and up to 2 weeks before the event. Some people like to do an hour, some people like to do 3 hours. It's up to you. If you're not going to limit registration, you can just keep this off. You can also limit the number of participants for the event. When you do this, this is saying like you're going to allow 20 people to register for the event before it's no longer available. And if you notice, as soon as we turn this option on, this little guy down here shows up. So whenever it reaches the max number of participants, you can either make a custom message that they're going to see, or you and not or I guess and you can also use the option for a wait list, which means that they're going to sign up to this list if they want to receive notifications about maybe future events or about if registration opens again. So that's a couple of different options that we have here. A new feature that we have is actually contract signing before events. So you can actually make a contract that they have to agree and sign off on before the registration is considered active. And to create a registration or to create a contract, you're actually going to go under settings and then content contracts right here. And that's where you're actually going to make your contracts at. Once we have got all this set up, we're going to go ahead and create the event. And you'll see that it populates in. You'll see the image that I added over here and all of the different events. If I want to check out the registration page, I can click this button right here, and I can see what it looks like on the front end for anyone viewing. And it's going to show them the day and the time of the next event, what any of that information I've added in, and then the time zone. So I am automatically in the Chicago time zone, but if I want to see what day and I guess not day, what time the event's going to be if I were in Los Angeles for that week, then I'm going to see that this time automatically adjusts. So if I register for the event and I know I'm going to be in Los Angeles, then I know the event's going to be at 12 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock. And then I can go ahead and register. Another option down here is for other events in the series. So this is going to automatically show them the next upcoming event. But let's say I want to register for the one in September instead. I can click there and go ahead and register for that one. Going back to this back end, you'll see that now we have these trigger options. So I can go ahead and add a trigger that if the registration is approved, add a tag. I can also add a trigger that when registration is denied, send an email, things like that. If I want to go and edit the entire event series, so all of these events here, I can go and click this blue button and I could go in and edit anything that we had just set up to a certain point. Obviously, the trigger option is not here for the entire event series. You'll have to go and do that one event at a time. If I want to edit just one event occurrence, so let's say that I know that I'm not going to be available on July 12th for whatever reason, I can actually edit just this one and move it to a different day and time and set it up that way. If I want to edit the event repetition from July 12th forward, so let's say I want to actually move it to the 14th for all of the events from this one on, then I can edit the repetition from here and go in and say what I want to change that to. And then this will let you copy the link to this specific event series. This one up here is going to be the entire event series. This one is the one single event. And you can also choose to delete the event for just this one. So let's say I don't want to be available on September 12th, I can go ahead and delete this one and it'll remove it from my event series. If I want to go in and edit just one single one, so let's say I want to edit this one, this is going to give me the event day and time. We also have the option for you to add additional events to the series. So if you want to add more, I can just select right here. And let's say I decided I actually want to do September 12th again. I can go in and go to September 12th, go to my time. I think we had said 3 o'clock. Set my time here, and then go ahead and add the event. And then you'll see that it added it back in. We also have the option to add hosts. So this is going to be what account admin is currently in charge of the event happening. So if I set up this one, you'll see that I am now the host of this upcoming event. And that is all of the different features in regards to events within Simplero.